Drew, welcome to Chicago. Dan Weeder from the Chicago Tribune. There was some talk out there that you may have had some other opportunities and some other offers somewhere, and you decided to come here because it was a priority for you. What was the appeal here, and what were some of the other things that you had your eyes on elsewhere?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I guess to the second half of that, I'll probably primarily focus on what was attractive about here. But I think the things that are most important to me with football, about the culture that I'm playing in, the people I'm playing next to, kind of the vision for the team as a whole, all those things were top of mind for me as far as finding the next home. And all that stuff was assured to me and made me aware of in the process. So that was awesome and gave me a lot of confidence in the decision and made this place really appealing. And on top of that, the Bears are a historic team. It's an awesome town, and so something that I think everybody wants to be a part of. So it's made the whole thing really, really enticing for me.
Specifically with Ben, what intrigues you about joining forces with him and playing in his offense? Yeah,
I think some of the strengths of my game, when I watch the little bit of Detroit film that I have watched, I feel like they'll be emphasized. And that's what I want to do most, is just add value to this team. And so if I'm doing the things that I really thrive doing, I think that'll be the best for the team. And so that prospect was really interesting. And then there's more areas in my game where I can grow and do different things. And I think that'll be interesting to explore as well.
Patrick Finley with the Chicago Sun-Times. As you were weighing where to go, did you do homework on what players were on which teams, and what do you make of Caleb Williams from afar?
Mm-hmm. I didn't do a ton, honestly. I feel like I was much more focused on the scheme and culture and kind of the vision. I feel like there's excellent players everywhere, so you're always going to be able to find people like that. But now that the process has kind of come to a conclusion, yeah, it's exciting to work with a player like that. And I'm really excited to learn from him, as well as do everything I can to help him and take things off his plate, so that he can do the things that he does best. And then there's dozens of other players on this team as I look through the roster that I'm excited to learn from and that have had a ton of success. So I feel like there's opportunities all around me to learn from them and kind of set goals for myself and chase after them.
Hey, Drew, Adam Hogue from CHGO. You had a chance to play the Vikings this past year, and now you're going to play them twice in this division. They're one of the more exotic fronts. It seemed to be one of your better games. So just what do you remember about that game in particular, and just overall your level of comfort of kind of diagnosing things at the line of scrimmage and sort of playing that role within the offense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely present some unique challenges and things that put pressure on an offense. And so I think when I think about that week, it was a lot of front-end preparation and film study and developing tells and things that kind of gave us a hint about what was going to happen post-snap and finding them pre-snap. And when you're playing a defense like that, that's super key with getting everybody on the same page as a center. So yeah, definitely look forward to doing more of that and developing an understanding. But yeah, I think that'll be a consistent theme, is just doing everything I possibly can to prepare and stack the deck in our favor so that post-snap we can play fast and aggressive and be all on the same page beforehand.
Hi, Drew. Alex Shapiro, Chicago Sports Network. Along those lines, as a veteran center, diagnosing, being that quarterback of the offensive line, seems like it'd be really helpful for a young quarterback like Caleb Williams. You had some experience doing that with Michael in Atlanta, so I'm just curious, what are the ways in which you helped Michael come along at the end of last year, and then how do you think you can apply that with Caleb here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mike's an awesome player and an awesome teammate. So yeah, that was a pleasure, and I think the biggest things are your focus can only be on so many things at once, and there are things that his focus needs to be on and they can't be on anybody else's plate, and there are things that can be handled by other people, so things like the snap count or like elements of protection or the run game or that kind of deal. The less he has to worry about it and the more that we as an O-line can communicate together and diagnose together, the less he has to do it and the more he can focus on the things that are exclusive to him. And so I think that process played out a little bit with Mike, and then I imagine it'll carry over the same. But yeah, it's all about kind of narrowing the aperture about what you're having to focus on and being able to kind of use the O-line as additional eyes for the quarterback.
Last two here.
Hi, Drew, back here.
talk about your experience with Grady and how you guys made each other better in practice.
Yeah, super fortunate to be a teammate with Grady, and it sounds like you guys got a good taste of him yesterday. But yeah, incredible player, incredible guy in the locker room, absolute professional. Like I remember coming into Atlanta and seeing him go about his business and seeing him work, and I immediately understood like, okay, this is the gold standard. And then in practice, yeah, making me look silly dozens of times, exploiting my weaknesses, forcing me to learn from them and adapt to them, and so that's been invaluable in my development. And yeah, I look forward to being able to practice against him more and all that stuff. And a guy that lets us know about our tells and our tendencies because he'll pick up on them because he's a savvy player in that way. So yeah, I think he's a huge resource for the offensive line in general.
Nicholas Morial, the Bigs, when you found out that you're going to be playing next to a guy like Joe Tooney, what was just kind of your reaction when you heard that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excitement. I've been really fortunate to play with some excellent players so far in my career. Played next to Chris Lindstrom and Matthew Bergeron and Jake Matthews and all those guys. And I feel like I just have so much to learn, and I never feel like I'm a finished product with offensive line play. And so a guy like that that's had so much success, particularly Super Bowls and all that, I'm like really looking forward to picking his brain and being kind of annoying to him and picking up some of his habits. So.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.